David, do you have the instructions?
I will have to pull them up. I gave them to Chairman Mars. Hold on.
Okay, or if you can email them to me, I don't mind.
Okay, I'll email them to you.
Okay. Mickey, is everyone in PrimeGov?
I'm still missing Trustee Young and Trustee Hammond.
Thank you.
Amy, this is David. Aubrey's having a little bit of trouble accessing the link. I'm trying to resend it to her again, so she should be on the call in just a second.
Okay.
And Amy, Vice Chair Casperite voice votes.
Okay.
I now have everyone in PrimeGov.
Okay.
Mickey, Aubrey's here, but she's a guest. I don't know, do we need to let her in?
She's in. She's good.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
David, have you texted the chairman?
I have not, but I will. Doug, I was not able to reach the chairman. I called him, but I didn't get him. So
Would you like me to go ahead and read the special instructions for the video conference?
Yes, please do.
Okay. So welcome everyone to the May 25th, 2021 video conference meeting of the Oklahoma City Riverfront Redevelopment Authority. And I wanted to mention a few things. If we're disconnected at any time during today's meeting, we will try to restore the video connection within 15 minutes. If we cannot do so, the meeting will be adjourned and we will reconvene at the next regular meeting scheduled for 1:00 p.m. on June 22nd, 2021 in the City Council Chambers, 200 North Walker, 3rd floor. For trustees, staff, and scheduled presenters, please state your name and the organization you represent before addressing the group. For citizens who are called on to speak or who called in on any agenda item, please stay muted until you are recognized by the chairman or vice chairman, then press *6, and please limit your comments to 3 minutes. And if there are no questions, the meeting can be called to order.
Perhaps if the chairman hasn't arrived, maybe the vice chair could help us walk through the agenda. Is Don Casbright on the line?
I am.
Would you mind doing that? And we'll wait and see if the chair shows up and maybe we can get the meeting started.
So we can start anytime you want. If you want to give him a little more time, whatever you prefer.
Well, I think if the clerk's called it to order, we might as well go ahead and get started because it's
Very good.
possible he may not show up.
Very good.
Thank you.
It's 1:00 and time for our meeting of March the 25th to begin. So go with call to order. First item from the chairman. Well, our chairman is not here, and as vice chairman, I have nothing there for today. Item 3 is approval of March 30th minutes. Any comments? Being none, is there a motion and a second? I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. I'm not hearing, so I don't know.
Yeah, they're voting electronically. Trustee Casbright, how do you wish to vote?
Yes.
Trustee Torres, do you have buttons?
It's not coming up. I have the motion.
Try
But
pressing
not
try pressing escape on your keyboard. You may be looking at Zoom.
There it is.
Okay. And Trustee Lyons?
I just voted, I think.
Okay, perfect. The motion passes.
Okay, motion passes. Moving on to item 4, consent docket. Item A, oil and gas revenue report. Any comments? If not, is there a motion for approval? And second. Motion and second. Cast your votes, please.
Trustee Casbright, how do you wish to vote?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, motion approved. Moving to 4B, Oklahoma River Corridor events update. Any comments? If there are none, is there a motion for approval and second? Motion and a second. Please cast your votes.
Trustee Casperite, how do you vote?
Yes.
Trustee Lyons, do you have buttons?
Yes, sorry.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Okay. Motion is approved. Moving to primary agenda items. Number 5, item A is Riverfront Maintenance Projects Update. Have your comments on our packet. Is there anything additional from anyone? Hearing none, is there a motion and second to approve? Motion to approve and second is there. Please cast your votes.
Trustee Casperite, how do you vote?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, the motion passes. Moving to item 5B, Oklahoma City Riverfront Redevelopment Authority schedule of cash receipts and distributions for the period ending March 31. Comments from anyone? Hearing none, is there a motion for approval and second? There is a motion and a second for approval. Please cast your votes.
Trustee Casperite,
Yes.
motion passes.
Okay, B is passed. Moving to item 5C, resolution recommending that the City Council approve a request by Oklahoma City officials to rename Crystal Lake Park, located at 6625 Southwest 15th Street, to Larry McAtee Park in honor of his longtime Oklahoma City councilman and community leader, Larry McAtee.
Mr. Chairman, Doug Cupper, Parks and Recreation Director, be happy to answer any question if there are any on this matter. The Board of Park Commissioners voted to approve the renaming of Crystal Lake Park to Larry McAtee Park. Again, be happy to answer.
Speaking
any
for
questions.
myself, but possibly for others, I think this is very much appropriate, and would call for a motion in a second.
Yeah, before you do that, I just want to say one thing, Mr. Chairman, and that is that I am so excited that this is being renamed to the Larry McAtee Park. Larry, for over 19 years, was a tremendous advocate for Ward 3. I'm lucky enough to have not only Larry as a friend, but his wife, Joanne. They have always been very kind to Debbie and I. And Larry has been a person that I learned so much from in serving on City Council. So this is very befitting for Larry and his family.
I have the resolution that I can read if anybody would like me to read it.
Yes, please.
I think that would be appropriate, given 20 years of service.
Okay.
I couldn't agree more.
Okay. Resolution. Recommending that the Oklahoma City Council approve a request by the Oklahoma City officials to rename Crystal Lake Park, located at 6625 Southwest 15th Street, Larry McAtee Park, in honor of longtime Oklahoma City Councilman and community leader Larry McAtee. Whereas the City of Oklahoma City owns property within and adjacent to the North Canadian River, part of which is known as the Oklahoma River. And whereas the Oklahoma City Riverfront Redevelopment Authority is a public trust of which the city is sole beneficiary. And whereas the city has leased the Oklahoma River Corridor property to OCRRA, and whereas a goal of OCRRA is to promote economic development, recreation, and tourism along the Oklahoma River Corridor. And whereas the city's park system includes Crystal Lake Park, located on OCRRA property at 6625 Southwest 15th Street. And whereas recently staff received the renaming request described above, and whereas Crystal Lake Park is on city-owned property leased to OCRRA, and whereas for years, the site known informally as Crystal Lake was open for limited recreational activities under OCRRA management. And whereas on January 12, 2016, it was designated as a city park and became Crystal Lake Park. And whereas Larry McAtee served admirably as the city's Ward 3 councilman from April 2001 until his most recent term expired on April 12, 2021. And whereas during those 20 years, Mr. McAtee was a tireless advocate for both Ward 3 and Oklahoma City as a whole. And whereas Mr. McAtee also served for many years on numerous trusts and committees, including OCRRA, the Water Utilities Trust, the Airport Trust, the Emergency Medical Services Authority, and the Trails Advisory Committee. And whereas, as a Trails Advisory Committee member, Mr. McAtee helped implement the Trails Master Plan and the Trails Wayfinding Signage Master Plan. And whereas, as an OCRRA trustee, he was influential in creating the partnership with City Care Incorporated, which developed Crystal Lake as a unique urban venue for outdoor youth activities and nature education while supporting related public use. And whereas Mr. McAtee also helped secure assistance from the Oklahoma County Shine Community Service Program to remove debris and improve roadways at Crystal Lake. And whereas both initiatives facilitated its later designation as a city park. And whereas Mr. McAtee successfully championed 3 MAPS initiatives, a public safety sales tax, the 2007 and 2017 park bond referendums, and Better Street, Safer City. And whereas while chairing the Economic Development Trust, he led projects that brought Dell, Bass Pro Shops, and Cabela's to Oklahoma City. And whereas Mr. McAtee also urged adoption of ordinances addressing important issues such as apartment complex safety, litter on a stick, and public nuisances caused by derelict property owners. And whereas as a member of the Legislative Committee, Mr. McAtee met annually with congressional members to advance the city's federal legislative agenda. And whereas he was also an advocate for Oklahoma City at the state and national levels through work with the Oklahoma Municipal League and National League of Cities. And whereas Mr. McAtee demonstrated his commitment to residents by responding to every inquiry on the day it was received. And whereas he also attended almost all Ward 3 neighborhood association meetings and neighborhood nights out. And whereas city officials believed that the requested renaming is a fitting way to honor Mr. McAtee's long and successful tenure representing the people of Ward 3. And whereas staff do not believe that the renaming would diminish the original justification for the naming of Crystal Lake Park. And whereas on May 19, 2021, following the multi-step process outlined in the city's park naming and renaming policy, the Park Commission recommended approval of the renaming request. And whereas while OCRRA has a separate policy for naming areas and facilities along the Oklahoma River corridor, that policy does not apply in this case since the site in question is outside of the Oklahoma River corridor. And whereas, however, since Crystal Lake Park is located within the OCRRA leasehold, the renaming request is also being presented to OCRRA for a recommendation. Now therefore be it resolved by the Oklahoma City Riverfront Redevelopment Authority to hereby recommend that the Oklahoma City Council approve a request by Oklahoma City officials to rename Crystal Lake Park located at 6625 Southwest 15th Street as shown in Exhibit A incorporated herein, Larry McAtee Park, in honor of longtime Oklahoma City Councilman and community leader, Larry McAtee.
Thank you, Amy.
Thank you, Amy. Additional comments? Is there a motion and a second? Motion and second, please cast your votes.
Trustee Casperite,
Yes,
motion passes.
motion passes. I'd just like to add, I think everybody that knows Larry considers him a good friend. And I think we'll all miss him being as one of our co-trustees.
And I would like to congratulate him because he's done an amazing job for us for 20 years.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Thank you for your vote. Item 5D, audit contract with Allen Gibbs and Hulick LC for the Oklahoma City Riverfront Redevelopment Authority fiscal year 2021 audit. Comments?
I'll move for approval when appropriate.
Okay, we have a a move and a second. Please cast your votes.
Trustee Casperite,
Yes.
motion passes.
Okay, item D passes. Moving to item E, Consultant Review Committee Report for Project MC 0676, on-call engineer to serve the Oklahoma City Riverfront Redevelopment Authority. Comments, questions? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve and second? Have a motion and a second. Please cast your votes.
Trustee Casperite,
Yes.
motion passes.
Item E passes. Move to item 5F. Contract for professional engineering services with time designed for the project of MC 0676, on-call engineer to serve Oklahoma City Riverfront Redevelopment Authority effective July 1, 2021. Comments?
I'll move for approval when appropriate.
We have a motion and a second. Please cast your votes.
Trustee Casperite,
Yes.
motion passes.
Item F passes. Moving to item G. This is a revocable permit for Red Coyote Running and Fitness for the Red Coyote Love Run 5K and 10K using City of Oklahoma City property, including the Oklahoma City Community Foundation River Trail located on the north side of Oklahoma River, June 26th, 2021. Comments? Is there a motion and a second? We have a motion and a second. Please cast your vote.
Trustee Casperite,
Yes.
motion passes.
Okay. Item G passes. Moving to item Oklahoma City Riverfront Redevelopment Authority operating budget for fiscal year 2021-22, introduced and set for adoption on June 22nd, 2021. Comments? Hearing none, is there a motion for approval on second? The motion and a second, please cast your votes.
Trustee Casperite,
Yes.
motion passes.
Item H passes. We need item 6, claims.
Mr. Vice Chairman, this is David Birch. We have no claims this month.
Item 7, comments by the staff. Parks and Recreation Department Director's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Doug Cupper, Director of Parks and Recreation, for the record. Just a couple of things that want to make sure that we highlight. Obviously, the new contract with the on-call engineering. If you did know, the firm that we signed the contract used to be known as Triad. So we have that institutional knowledge to go along with that contract. We shouldn't lose any headway on any projects that the trust comes up with. I think one of the other things that we wanted to point out is the resurrection of the Shine program from the county commissioner is before you, and we're happy that Shine is going to come back to life and be a valuable asset and a partner to everything that the city does, the county does. But I know that this organization has benefited, especially with the renaming of Crystal Lake. They were very instrumental in getting the multitude of car and truck tires removed from that property when we tried to make it a recreational space. I think the only last thing, and then I'll shut up forever and ever, is the governor has canceled his emergency decree, and we will be back to going to in-person meetings for your June meeting. So unless something occurs that we have to relocate out of the council chambers, we are looking forward to seeing you all back at City Hall for your regularly scheduled meetings. And if you don't know it, this is my my last Okra meeting. I am retiring as of July 1. So thank you for all that you have done, all that you have done for me. The trust has been a valuable partner to the Parks Department in all things necessary for our river. I think we've had some great successes, and I think we should be proud. You should be proud of the efforts that you all put forward in creating maps 4. And I'm very excited about the possibilities of those improvements being funded in the near future to keep what you all have been striving to do on our river going in the right direction. So thank you. I'd be happy to answer any questions, but I would recommend that the trusts approve as written.
Questions by Doug? Thank you, Doug, and best wishes in your retirement. Motion to receive his report. A motion and a second. Please cast your vote.
Trustee Casperite,
Yes.
motion passes.
Motion passes. Thank you. That's from any of our trustees.
Doug, I thought we'd get one more meeting out of you. This is it?
This is my last Okra meeting. Yes, sir.
Well, I just want to say thank you. What you did for Riverfront redevelopment over the last 7 years has been incredible. Will be remembered, and we are very, very much appreciative of all you've done for Oklahoma City. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments? I assume we do not have any citizens online, so that being the case, is there a motion for adjournment?
A motion to adjourn is not required. You can just adjourn.
All right, and then we'll call the meeting adjourned, and I thank everybody for your attendance. See you next time.